Now we'll clean up all these saw cuts off of this side. Again, when we do this, look at the grains. The grain is running uphill that way, and that's how we're going to plane. We'll go from this end up to this end, and we're going with the grain. So I'll put it in the vise again with the grain going away from me. And I'm going to skew plane this, so I'm not going straight up, I'm going to go at a very slight angle. Initially I just want to clean this up, then we'll see how we go, and we might have to plane down to a mark. You see I've got hit and miss there. So the plane's picked some of it up and missed some. And that's another reason for having a longer plane, because it will ride over those ridges and not follow the contours of the timber. So we'll just clean that up with straight strokes now. There's not so much of an issue of rolling the plane when you're doing a wide board, but it is important that it's set up nicely so it'll do that. And I reckon that's got to be pretty darn good. Double check it by using that. Make sure that's square as well. So now that parallel to this is square to that, that's square to this. All we've got to do now is square off the other end. So go to your known face, which is this one. And I'm going to take a little bit off of this side. When you're planing an edge that's high, for example this one, I put my fingers under the opposite side and wedge it between the timber and the plane to keep it parallel, so I can then just take that edge off and I've got support the whole way. And then I think if you look down there, that's pretty close to being spot on. That's the magic of hand planes. So that's a bench plane, a cabinet making plane. You can thickness timber with it. You can square timber with it. You can dress timber with it. And in certain circumstances, you can actually finish, forget sandpaper, finished with a hand plane. There is nothing as nice as a board that's been planed by hand. Little trick, if you do, and I'll use a different plane here, you could use any of the planes I've suggested. So I'll use this number 3. The reason I'm using the number 3 isn't because of the plane, it's because of the way the blade's set up, which I'll show you afterwards. But if you've got a tabletop that you've just finished, instead of sanding it, there is nothing wrong with doing what I'm doing. Going all over it with the plane and getting nice fine shavings like that. And the other thing you'll notice when I bring it over to the camera, it doesn't have any what they call tram tracks. You'll see that's smooth and there's no gouge lines in there whatsoever. The reason for that is the blade that I have on this plane, I've actually ground the corners of the blade off. You can see there on the corners, the sharp edges have been rounded over. And that is what gives me a finish like that. If I was to do that with a traditional plane, without the corners being ground, let's see what will happen. We'll use this 5 1/4, I don't think it's been done. No, that hasn't been done. Well, you can see them, but I can definitely feel them. You can see those track marks going up it, all up and down there. And what that is caused by is the edge of the blade, the corners, are sharp, as can be seen there, as opposed to these ones, which have been rounded over. So there's a little tip for you. If you're jointing a board, no need to do it because you want to have nice sharp edges. But on a finishing smoothing cut, that's what you want to do to your blade. Just take the corners off so it leaves it nice and smooth and flat.